What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. So I wanted to talk about sodium. So these hydration sticks, right? Your LMNT, all those good things. Now they're great. They're great. I think the idea of easy to use, portable electrolytes put in water. I got some in here right now, the ambrosia hydroglyph. We'll talk about that later. I think they're great because a lot of times you got to understand, like without electrolytes, water is simply diluting, right? You need electrolytes to fully hydrate. Hydration without electrolytes, you're not doing the job. So essentially you get too much water. That'll strip your body of electrolytes because a lot of issues. So people just guzzle water and don't get in enough electrolytes will have so many issues, deleterious effects to their health. Performance issues, meaning that you won't be able to contract your muscles. These electrolytes help you do all that. But I wanted to go into this. Now, before I get into the woe is me, oh my goodness, there's a lot of sodium, be careful. I want you to know that I am a huge proponent of consuming adequate sodium intake. There's an article I wrote, when was that? In 2018, called The Salty Lie, saying that vilifying salt and cutting sodium for athletes and for healthy individuals is a horrible idea. So remember, I'm on the side of sodium, but I think we've gotten into who Pinot is bigger situation, where one electrolyte maker will be like, hey, we're going to go with 250 milligrams. Next guy's like 500. Next guy's like a gram, where a gram's become the norm. It's a lot of sodium. Now, if you're like me and you drink 5, 6, 7 of these a day and you're putting a stick, that's 7,000 milligrams of sodium in addition to what you're getting in your diet. And being that most Americans eat ultra processed foods, you go and you might get a gram from your Chick-fil-A. You might get a gram from your Panda Express. You might get 4 grams. Then you're looking at problems. So with that being said, I'd like to just go over some things about sodium. Now, sodium is essential. Don't get me wrong, but too much of it can be harmful, especially for athletes or individuals who already have plenty in their diet. So check it out. Like I was saying before, you got 1,000 milligrams in a lot of these stick packs. It's a hydroglyph stick pack. It doesn't have 1,000 milligrams. We'll tell you why. So it's marketed as optimal for athletes, and there are applications where that is a good thing. For the average person, the weight trainer, we're simply not utilizing enough depletion, so to speak. We're not depleting enough minerals to our body because we're simply not training that hard. So sodium plays a key role in fluid balance, nerve function, aiding muscle contractions. However, the needs vary greatly depending on sport, intensity, sweat rate, environmental conditions. Is it 100 degrees out? Is it 60 degrees out? Right? So the general population, let's say you're just a normal sedentary office worker, comes home, sits on your butt, watches Netflix after work. No more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium daily is what they recommend. This isn't for anybody of any athletic endeavors, right? This is for the average person. You know those people. You work with those people. You know who they are. It's basically the average American. And remember, the average American, 70% of America is overweight, 40% plus is obese. That's what they should get. And they're getting way more than that because they're eating processed crap, right? Ideal limit is 1,500 milligrams for these people. Again, the only time they're sweating is when they're going to the bathroom, right? So endurance athletes, they can lose 500 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium per hour during intense exercise, especially in hot conditions. Now, sodium replenishment is important, but doses of 1,000 milligrams per serving, being that they're only depleting maybe 2,000 at best, usually 500 to 1,000. That might be excessive. Again, it's not more is always better. And the more sodium you intake, the more hydration you need. So you need to drink more and more and more water so you're not diluting that electrolyte. So team sports, let's say soccer, let's say basketball, about 300 to 700 milligrams per hour. That's based on, just general, but, people sweat differently. I know a lot of lean people who sweat like fat people. Some people just sweat more and they need more electrolytes. Again, it's based on the individual. So strength and power athletes, it's a lot of you guys, right? You just like lifting weights and stuff. Me, I'm getting into more crazy stuff. I'm doing more running and more functional things. But even then, I'm not crazy. I'm 44. I'm not trying to pull a Brett Favre and come back. I'm not Aaron Rodgers, right? So you know what? You're typically losing around 200 to 500 milligrams an hour. Even big old pro bodybuilders, juiced into their gills, they're sweating a lot, but they're not really moving a lot. They're not really needing that much electrolytes. Drink some right now. I'm sweating quite a bit. So what are the risks of overdoing sodium? One is high blood pressure. So if you really overdo it, yeah, it can heighten the risk of heart disease and stroke. Kidney strain, yep, excessive sodium can cause kidney strain, electrolyte imbalance. So with that super high sodium, is there enough potassium and magnesium and calcium to offset that? Well, we'll talk about that in a second, because check it out. If you do have a lot of sodium, some people can have water retention, edema. That's going to make you perform even worse. Osteoporosis. Now, we talked about this in the latter point, in the former point. High sodium intake can be met with calcium loss. That increases the risk of bone issues over time. So LMNT has 1,000 milligrams of sodium per packet. That's designed to cover athletes' sodium losses quickly. However, if you're just willy-nilly like me, adding electrolytes to perform better and think better, dude, electrolytes are amazing, right? That's 2,000 to 3,000, just if you think 3 of them, before factoring in dietary sodium, which ranges from 2 to 4,000 daily, right? That's the average person eats. And if you're like me and you like putting sea salt on your food, it's much more than that. So, for example, 2,000 milligrams of sodium in 2 LMNT packets. Average diet's 2,500 milligrams of sodium. That's 4,500 milligrams a day. It's double the recommended limit. I think the recommended limit's BS. But if you're like me, dude, I'm putting, I don't drink plain water. Plain water is for peasants. So let's get into the solution. Number one is salt your food, right? Salt your food. You might not need it, but if you're like me, you drink and you might not eat. And when you're training, what are you going to do? Like friggin' ingest sodium packets? Come on. So what can we do for that? So I'm gonna pitch my stuff here. I'm gonna tell you what we did. We got ambrosia hydroglyph. It comes in stick packs. It also comes in a bag like this, right? So these are dope, because here's the thing. It's giving you 225 milligrams of sodium from sea salt. So we're not using any of that peasant salt. We're using the legit sea salt, right? Sea salt isn't just standardized sodium. There's a lot of other beneficial things to sea salt. Potassium, magnesium. So you get that balance we were talking about. We also added EAAs and BCAAs to preserve muscle. Now we know during training, based on studies I funded in 2009, that BCAA and EAA can help you gain muscle and lose fat. So another thing is, why not make those amino acids and the meals of protein you eat better later on in the day? Velocitol actually doubles the power of your protein. I love Velocitol. I've done a lot of videos on them, using a lot of my products. And my HMB. HMB prevents you from losing muscle. And when you're training, you're in a catabolic state. Especially if you're like me and you like to go on the long hikes. You like to go on the, the rucks and all that good stuff. It's great. And also, I'm doing hot yoga now, believe it or not. And trust me, I'm in a catabolic state after that. So bottom line, what this video is about. The product pitch, because I believe I make the best products in the world. Hydroglyph is available at tigerfitness.com, also available at AmbrosiaCollective.com. If you go to tigerfitness.com, it's 10% off with coupon code MAHA. M-A-H-A, MAHA gets 10% off the entire site. So go try it out, right? We don't have the stick packs there yet. If you want the stick packs, you go to AmbrosiaCollective.com and use coupon code. Let me see if I remember a code. AMBX. AMBX. Get you 10% off AmbrosiaCollective.com. So LMNTs, 1,000 milligrams per packet, can easily lead to sodium overload when combined with other dietary intake, unless I'm going to give you when it is applicable. If I'm going on some crazy, like my family and I hiked the Northeast, and I actually did use LMNT here. I'm a fan. I am not adverse to it. I just think for most scenarios, it's too much. So when we were hiking the Northeast and it was hot as heck, and we're hiking Acadia, we're hiking in Maine. It was amazing. Dude, we had stick packs with us and we were putting it in all of our water and we were sweating and we had to hydrate. So when you're doing that, yeah. But for average daily training, dude, salt your meals with sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. Regular salt's okay. I just prefer the more natural forms. If people argue about that, look, I don't give a F what salt you use, right? So use your salt. But if you're doing something crazy like hiking in, friggin' the summer in friggin' Acadia, yeah, go ahead and use your 1 gram per pack. But you're not doing that every day. And if you are, then sure, go ahead. But sodium is essential, but more is not always better. And if you're looking at the perfect stick pack of something, it's Ambrosia Hydroglyph, because it's not just salt in the pack. It's got your EAA, BCA, Velocitol, MyHMB, all adequately dosed to help you reach your goals. Because I'm sure you guys aren't just looking at hydrating. You guys want to optimize your muscle gains. You guys want to optimize your performance. And that's what Hydroglyph does for you. So the bottom line is LMNT is fine for certain applications. But for daily use, I would highly suggest you give Ambrosia Hydroglyph a try. Anyway, guys, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell. And again, you go to tigerfitness.com, use coupon code MAHA, M-A-H-A, MAHA, and we have the bags of Hydroglyph there. If you want to get the stick packs, you go to ambrosiacollective.com, use coupon code AMBX, that's AMBX, and you get 10% off that product. Anyway, guys, thank you actually the entire site with that code. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate you guys. If you need anything, be sure to contact me. You could DM me on Instagram at Marc Lobliner, or my email is always open, Marc, M-A-R-C, @tigerfitness.com. I'm always here to help you reach your goals. Anyway, share this video, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and remember, that's not a game. And here goes another ad. Have fun. Are you currently taking LMNT for your electrolytes? That's great. Electrolytes are very important, especially for athletes. The problem is, I think they took it a little too far. 1,000 milligrams of sodium per packet. That's great if you're an endurance athlete running in high temperatures, 100 plus. But if you're not perspiring that much, if you're not doing that much activity, if you're simply exercising, well, normally, it's a lot. You're looking at intake, you take a few packets, 10,000 milligrams of sodium a day. So what I like to do is I like to flavor all my water with electrolytes, because electrolytes are vitally important for you to intake. Now, what do? I take Ambrosia Hydroglyph. So Ambrosia Hydroglyph, available in stick packs as well as bags. Now, it's beyond sodium, potassium, magnesium. It has other things that'll help your body keep muscle and perform better. It has the essential amino acids. It has your branched chain amino acids. It has Velocitol, which doubles the power of those amino acids. It even has MyHMB. So if you're really training hard, it staves off muscle loss. If you're looking for something well beyond the current electrolyte you're taking, something that won't overdo it, but give you everything needed to perform at your best and be as healthy as possible, Ambrosia Hydroglyph is your choice.